Again, joining us now to look at this big story this evening, Soli Sarabji and Neeja Chaudhary, the senior journalist. Thanks both so much for joining us. Mr. Sarabji, first to you. You think this is a reaction to all those political setbacks that the government's been facing in court as far as the 2G case was concerned, black money case and so on?
Possibly Gopal was miffed in the manner in which it was done. And I think that's the reason why he has reacted like that. I don't know what has happened. He's gone to the president, I believe, but his resignation is going to be accepted, but it's going to be withdraw it. But Natasha, I can tell you, no self-respecting law officer can continue when there is clear loss of confidence expressed by the government by hiring another lawyer.
Right, you're of course saying that there is a loss of confidence, but there are many who are perhaps asking if Mr. Subramaniam could have been more effective, or should the government really be taking some of the blame for the setbacks that it's been seeing in the last 1 year or so in court?
No, just no one can take blame because no one knows finally what the Supreme Court is going to do. It is very, very difficult to predict what kinds of order the Supreme Court will pass, and apart from that, what observations it makes, which makes the government uncomfortable.
Right.
And frankly, which observations sometimes are not necessary.
Right, and that's of course a lot of what we've been seeing. You were saying that those observations are not necessary. In recent days, the question has been if the judiciary really is intruding into where the executive should be taking all those decisions. Neeja, is this, how do you see this? Is this really a culmination of all the embarrassments that the government has been going through in court? And Soli Sarabji, of course, refusing to comment on that. But was it really inevitable?
Yeah, I suppose you can say inevitable and yet not inevitable, because Mr. Sarabji will know this better, that in the past government has hired private lawyers, but the point is it did not take Mr. Subramaniam into confidence, nor did it consult him, and that is what he's found it slight. As far as the no confidence part of it, yes, I mean the government's been unhappy with him over several cases. Starting with the handling, you remember when the Supreme Court had asked the Prime Minister about his inaction, the government was not happy with the way he handled it, and then the Attorney General was brought in, and later K.K. Venugopal was also brought in. And then, of course,
this SIT and this
black money, where again the Finance Ministry is supposed to be very unhappy that he did not project their case properly.
So they may have a case, but they could have handled it better.
They could have handled it better, but the question is, was this an oversight? Was Mr. Sibal, given the unhappiness with the way he'd handled things, did he desire somebody who would defend him better in this very messy 2G business, which is devouring ministers, and now the
with alarming frequency.
Yeah, with alarming frequency, and now it's pointing to him. So it's natural that he would want the best possible defense. Is it that, or do people feel is it a deliberate slight so that he would actually quit and go? But it is a huge embarrassment, you know, to have an
own in such a senior officer battling,
and assertive judiciary on the one hand, and aggressive civil society breathing down their neck on the other hand, and then to get a revolt from within your judicial service.
It's perhaps the last thing the government wanted at this time. Mr. Sarabji, we're mentioning before this high profile and very convoluted 2G case. What impact do you think this development could have on those high profile cases? We know that there's a political turn to sort of every twist that happens in court.
No. Attorney General is still there. There are other people, senior panel, counsel on the panel, they can do it. I don't think it will have any effect on that, but except one thing is certain, that in a way it slightly diminishes the office of the Solicitor General.
Right, of course, many people would agree with you there, but there are also others who say that Kapil Sibal hired Rohington Nariman in his individual capacity, and that there's really no reason for anyone to feel slighted.
No. Maybe he can. That's problematic. Whether the law officials rules, but I'll assume he can. Question is, even if he can, the result of his action, why does he do it? Is there any doubt he does it because he's dissatisfied, or rather he has no confidence? It's almost a vote of no confidence in Gopal Subramaniam. That's the reason he wants another one. If that be so, and even assume Kapil has good reasons for that, well, Gopal may think, well, if you don't have confidence in me, then why should I continue as Solicitor General?
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone. Fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.